Hello and welcome to BBC Science. We have breaking news. Siegfried Samarium has been found dead. Police are suspecting suicide, but Denise is at the scene to find out more. Over to
Thank
you.
you, Ella. Today, we found retired Army Major Siegfried Samarium dead in his bed. Scene of crime officers have made extensive notes, recording evidence around the Major's home. They have also collected substantial physical evidence to aid their investigation. We're now going to find out a bit more about the science. Back to you, Ella.
We found a suspected suicide note in his bedroom written in ink. We also found 3 other inks. One in the bureau inkwell, the second in the witness statement from his niece, and the third in his will and testament. We tested all of them using chromatography and found some suspicious results. We are now going to explore further and find a bit more about the science.
Why, thank you, Ella. Well, chromatography is very interesting. It is a method used to determine what colours make up the ink. Today we are going to find out whether any of the ink samples are the same. Well, simple chromatography is carried out on paper. A spot of mixture is placed near the bottom of a piece of chromatography paper, and then the paper is placed upright in the suitable solvent, e.g. water. As the solvent soaks up the paper, it carries the mixtures with it. Different compounds of the mixture will move at different rates. This separates the mixture out. Now, RF values. Different chromatograms and the separated components of the mixtures can be identified by calculating the RF value using the equation RF equals distance moved by the compound divided by distance moved by the solvent. The RF value of a particular compound is always the same if the chromatography has been carried out in the same way. This allows industry to use chromatography to identify compounds in the mixtures. Hope this helps. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Stuart, for all that information. Now, we're gonna... Oh, wait a second. Oh, the results are in. Oh, this is very interesting. We can now reveal that the ink on the suicide note is the same as the ink on the witness statement from his niece. Very suspicious. Very suspicious. We are lucky to have an interview with his niece, Ivana Barium, on the topic. Let's speak to her. Hi, I understand your name is...
Ivana Barium.
Ah, yes, Ivana. Lovely to meet you. Okay, let's go on to the interview, shall we? So, from our first analysis, we have found that the ink on the suicide note matches up with your witness statement. What do you have to say about this?
I write a witness statement.
Yes, okay. Let's hear that witness statement now, shall we?
I was out for a morning walk along the top of the white cliffs of Dover when I realised it was time for my weekly visit to see my uncle. He had requested some help with some financial dealings, so I drove straight to his home and let myself in. My uncle had given me a set of keys, as it made things easier and his mobility wasn't great. I went into the study immediately to retrieve the documents we were going to go through. My uncle kept them in a safe, but he trusted me with a combination, as I do a lot of his finances. Once I got the papers, I called for him, but didn't get any reply. I walked around the house looking for him, and finally entered the bedroom where I found him in bed. I thought he was asleep, but he was cold, and I realised he was dead. It was then that I noticed the pills and the letter. I started to tremble, and when I had to compose myself, I called the police. I did not touch or move anything. Barium.
Fascinating stuff going on here now, everyone. We're now on to our analysis too. Back to the studio to find out more.
Next, we are going to test for the presence of water in 2 liquid samples involved in the Major's death.
To do this, we are going to use anhydrous copper sulfate and just place a bit into these mysterious concoctions. If the water is present, then the copper sulfate will turn
The
blue.
results came back, and we can reveal that liquid sample A, which was found on his bedside table, is aqueous, and liquid sample B, which was found in the study, is not aqueous. We explored liquid sample A further and found that it was not completely aqueous, and it has been contaminated with salt. We know this because the freezing point was depressed to -10. Maybe someone poisoned Major Siegfried.
I feel we're getting closer to the bottom of this. We have one final analysis to perform on some mysterious residue on the carpet. Back to Stuart to explain more.
Ah, the flame test. One of my personal favourites. We found 2 different white solids on the carpet. One was soluble and the other insoluble. We are going to use a Bunsen burner to find out more. You simply dampen a wooden splint, dip the damp end into your crystals of solid, some should stick, set up a Bunsen burner and turn the flame to the non-luminous blue or roaring setting. Slowly pass the crystals on the splint through the hottest part of the flame. We compared the mysterious substances to lithium, sodium, and potassium. Over to you, Denise, for the results.
We can reveal that there are some matches. The insoluble solid is sodium, and the soluble solid is potassium. So we investigated further into the insoluble solid and found that the sodium carbonate is used in a tablet called methotrexate. And this is what killed Mr. Siegfried. However, this is suspicious because this is used to treat cancer, yet Major Siegfried doesn't have cancer. But you know who does?
Barium.
Yes. She does. She recently recovered from leukemia. All signs seem to point to Barium, but you make up your own mind. Thank you for watching.